In this first example, we are told that y is directly proportional to x. If y is directly proportional to x, that means y is equal to something times x. And because we haven't worked out what that something is yet, we're going to call it k. So if y is directly proportional to x, that means y is kx, something times x. On a graph, this is going to be a straight line graph that goes through the origin. So it's got no plus c, no y-intercept. It goes through 0, 0. And the gradient of the straight line is going to be whatever k is. You might also see directly proportional written as a symbol. So if you see y and then this symbol x, that means the same thing. It means y is directly proportional to x. It's just a different way of writing the same thing. So we're usually given numbers that we can use to work out what k is. So in this example, when y is 16, x is 5. So when y is 16, so y equals kx, so 16 equals k times 5. To get k by itself, divide both sides by 5. So k is 16 over 5. We could leave it like that, or if we wanted to write it as a decimal, that would be 3.2. So in this example, y is 3.2 times x. And we can use this formula to work out different values. So part A says find the value of y when x is 3. So y is 3.2 times x. So 3.2 times 3 is 9.6. And part B, find the value of x when y is 32. So we change y to 32. So 32 equals 3.2 times x. Divide both sides by 3.2 to get x by itself. So 32 divided by 3.2 is 10. 10 3.2s make 32. Okay, one for you to try. So give this one a go. The question says A is directly proportional to B. So that means A is something times B. And we're given that when A is 10, B is 4. So we can use this to find K. 10 equals K times 4. To get K by itself, divide both sides by 4. So K is 10 over 4, which is the same as 5 over 2, which we could leave as 5 over 2 or change to 2.5 as a decimal. So the relationship between A and B is A is 2.5 times B. So that's the relationship between A and B, and we can use that to answer the questions. So part A, find the value of A when B is 10. So we substitute in B as 10. So it's 5 over 2 times 10. 2.5 times 10 is 25. So that's the answer. Part B, find the value of B when A is 15. So 15 equals 5 over 2 times B. Double both sides. So 30 equals 5B. Then divide both sides by 5. And that will tell us B is 6. Okay, a different example. This time y is directly proportional to x squared. And just as before, a directly proportional relationship will mean if y is directly proportional to x squared, y is something times x squared. So y equals k times x squared. Now what does this graph look like? It's an x squared graph that goes through the origin. So it looks like this. So the relationship is y is something times x squared. We're given a value of y and x to work out k. So when y is 24, so 24, x is 4, equals k times 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. So 24 is 16k. If we divide both sides by 16, we find that k is 24 over 16. Or simplifying this, they're both in the 8 times table. So it's 3 over 2 or 1.5. So the relationship is y equals 3 over 2 or 1.5 times x squared. Now we've got our formula. We can use that to answer the questions. Question A, part A, says find the value of y when x is 2. So y is 1.5 times x squared. So 1.5 times 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 1.5 is 6. So y is 6. Part B, find the value of x when y is 13.5. So change y to 13.5. 13.5 equals 1.5 times x squared. If we divide both sides by 1.5, we get, so how many 1.5s go into 13.5? That's 9. So 9 equals x squared. And we square root both sides. So x can be, well, plus or minus 3. So it should say values really in the question. So x could be plus 3 or minus 3. Okay, question for you to try. So give this one a go. So a is directly proportional to b squared. That means a equals k times b squared. A is something times b squared. And we're going to work out what that something is using the numbers we're given. So 75 equals k times 5 squared. 5 squared is 25. So 75 equals 25k. Divide both sides by 25. And that tells us k is 3. So the formula is a equals 3b squared. So that's the relationship between a and b. And we can use that to answer the questions. So find the value of a when b is 10. So change b into 10. So a is 3 times 10 squared. 10 squared is 100. 300s are 300. Find the value of b when a is 48. So we have a is 48. So 48 equals 3b squared. Divide both sides by 3. So 16 equals b squared. And square root both sides. So b is plus or minus 4. And another example, this time it says y is inversely proportional to x. And an inverse proportional relationship tells us that y equals something divided by x. So y equals k over x. So if y is inversely proportional to x, y equals something divided by x. And with the symbol, that would be y is proportional to 1 over x. So if y is inversely proportional to x, y is directly proportional to 1 over x. And on a graph, a 1 over x graph or a something over x graph looks like this. So again, we're given values of y and x we can use to work out k. So we know y equals something over x, y equals k over x, when y is 12, x is 3. So 12 equals k over 3. To get k by itself, we multiply both sides by 3. So 12 times 3 is 36. So k is 36. So this relationship is y equals 36 over x. So we've got our formula. We can use that to answer the questions. Find the value of y when x is 2. So y will be 36 over 2, which is 18. And part B, find the value of x when y is 4. So we'll have 4 equals 36 over x. If we multiply both sides by x, we get 4x equals 36. And then divide both sides by 4, gives us x equals 9. And a question for you to try, so give this one a go. A is inversely proportional to B, means A equals K over B. When A is 8, B is 3. So 8 equals K over 3. We'll find K by multiplying both sides by 3. So K is 24. So the relationship is A equals 24 over B. Find the value of A when B is 6. So 24 over 6 is 4. Find the value of B when A is 12. So 12 equals 24 over B. Multiply both sides by B. So 12b equals 24. Divide both sides by 12. B equals 2. Here's another example. We've got y is inversely proportional to x squared. So if y is inversely proportional to x squared, that means y equals k over x squared. So an inversely proportional relationship is a k over something. On a graph, this will look similar to the 1 over x graph, but because x is squared, we're always going to get a positive. So the graph is always going to be above the x-axis. And again, we're given values of y and x that we can use to calculate k. So y is 8 when x is 3. So we can substitute them in. So 8 equals k over 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. So to get k by itself, we multiply both sides by 9. So k is 8 times 9, which is 72. So the relationship this time is y equals 72 over x squared. So now we know the relationship between y and x. We can use that to answer the questions. Part A, find the value of y when x is 6. So we're going to change x to 6. So y equals 72 over 6 squared. 6 squared is 36. And 72 over 36 is 2. Part B, find the value of x when y equals 4.5. So we've got 4.5 equals 72 over x squared. We'll multiply both sides by x squared. So 4.5 x squared is 72. To get x squared by itself, divide both sides by 4.5. So x squared equals 72 over 4.5. How many 4.5s go into 72? If we double top and bottom, we get 144 over 9. So how many 9s go into 144? Well, we can simplify it by dividing top and bottom by 3. So that will be 48 over 3. And how many 3s go into 48? That's 16. So x squared is 16. So x is the plus or minus the square root of 16. So plus or minus 4. Okay, a question for you to try here. So give this one a go. A is inversely proportional to b squared. That means A equals k divide b squared. When A is 2, B is 4. So 2 equals k over 4 squared. 4 squared is 16. So to get k by itself, times both sides by 16. So k is 32. So the relationship is A equals 32 over b squared. Find the value of A when b is 2. So A is 32 over 2 squared. So 32 over 4, which is 8. Find the value of b when A is 0.5. So we've got 0.5 equals 32 over b squared times both sides by b squared. So half of b squared equals 32. Double both sides to get b squared by itself. So b squared is 64, and we square root both sides. So b is plus or minus 8. And another question for you to try now. So match the graph to the relationship. So we have a directly proportional relationship means y equals k times x. Y is inversely proportional to x. That's y equals k divide x. Y is directly proportional to x squared. Y equals k times x squared. And y is inversely proportional to x squared. That's y equals k divide by x squared. So how do these match up? So our straight line graph, y is directly proportional to x, is A. Directly proportional to x squared, our x squared graph is B. Our inversely proportional to x, so our 1 over x kind of graph, that's D. And C is the same sort of graph, but it's inversely proportional to x squared. And because x is squared, that means we're always getting positive answers. Because if we square a number, we get a positive answer. So that'll be C. And to finish up, 2 questions. So pause the video and give these a go. Question 1, y is directly proportional to x. So that is the relationship y equals kx. So y is something times x, and we're given numbers to work out what k is, what that something is. So when y is 27, x is 6. To get k by itself, divide both sides by 6. So k is 27 over 6. And they're both in the 3 times table. So that is the same as 9 over 2, or 4.5. So the relationship is y equals 4.5x. Part A says find the value of y when x is 4. So y is 4.5 times 4. So 4.5 doubled is 9, and doubled again is 18. Part B, find the value of x when y is 45. So that's 45 equals 4.5x. So 45 divided by 4.5, that's 10. So x is 10. Question 2. A is inversely proportional to B. So that's the relationship A equals K over B. When A is 10, B is 6. So 10 equals K over 6. To find K, multiply both sides by 6. So K is 60. So the relationship is A equals 60 over B. Find the value of A when B is 15. So that'll be A equals 60 over 15, which is 4. Find the value of B when A is 12. So 12 equals 60 over B. Multiply both sides by B. So 12B is 60. And divide both sides by 12. So B will be 60 over 12, which is 5.